In this lesson, I'll be describing Visual Studio Code, which is a new open source code editor from Microsoft that was released late in 2015. It's a separate product from Visual Studio and it's quite a bit different from Visual Studio. So let's go look at some of the details. So what is Visual Studio Code? Visual Studio Code is an open source code editor that was developed by Microsoft. It was first released in 2015. One of the most interesting features is that it is available for Windows, Linux, and Mac OS X. This represents a major shift for Microsoft having a code editor that has multi-platform support. In addition to being able to edit code on these other platforms, it also has limited support for cross-platform development. The following is a screenshot of the Visual Studio Code editor. As you'll notice from the image, it's much more structured like a traditional code editor and not a heavyweight IDE such as Visual Studio. In a later lesson, I'll show you how the basic editing features of the program work. Visual Studio Code is first and foremost a code editor. It has built-in support for many different languages and file types. It naturally has support for Microsoft-centric languages such as C# and Visual Basic, but it also has support for Java, C++, Python, Objective-C, and many others. The current list that is supported is listed here on the slide. In addition, support for other languages is also under development. The editor also has built-in support for the Git source code control system. This allows the editor to be used in a team environment setting. In addition to just being an editor, Visual Studio Code can refactor C# code as well. I would suspect that this capability will have additional languages to support over time as well. One of the really interesting features of Visual Studio Code is that it can be used to edit and debug ASP.NET 5 applications. ASP.NET 5 applications are currently in beta, but it represents Microsoft's first entry into the cross-platform development market. Using this product, you can develop an ASP.NET 5 application on Mac OS X and then deploy that application on Windows Azure, for example. ASP.NET 5 applications can be scaffolded via an application called Yeoman to give developers a baseline application for this environment. I expect a lot more material to be released on this as this technology matures. When that happens, I'll include an update to this course to reflect this. In the next lesson, I'll show you how to download and install the tool. This installation is much simpler and quicker than installing Visual Studio. The program is much smaller and is designed to be a lighter weight tool than Visual Studio itself. In addition, you have the option of installing this program on Linux and Mac OS X, in addition to Windows. After installing the program, I'll show you how some of the basic code editing features work in the program itself. In this lesson, we've looked at some high-level features of Visual Studio Code and some of the benefits it provides. In the next lessons, I'll show you how to download and install the tool and a brief demo of using the code editor. For more information on Visual Studio Code, I have provided some additional links at the end of this section that you can download. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next lesson.